Today I'm going to teach you 5 ear candy hacks that will transform your music and get you signed, and the project that we're going to use today sounds like this. Alright, so the first ear candy trick is Quirky Effects. You can't go wrong with Quirky Effects. They add tons of character and they're so easy to find on places like Splice or Loopmasters or even Beatport. You find a cool Quirky Effect and throw it into your drop and just make a little bit of room for it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So the Quirky Effect that I added to this drop, just to add some character to it, was this little gun. And then I added an impact just to make it sound like it's shooting. Like that. I could probably have found a better impact, shorter and tighter, but it doesn't matter. But when you're using Quirky Effects like that, you want to just build a little opening to add that effect in so that you can hear it. You can't just throw it on top of all your layers. You won't be able to hear it. It'll sound cluttered and confused. Ear candy hack number 2 is drum fills. Super easy to do, super subtle, but you have to have drum fills in your drops. If you don't, your drums will just be too boring. People will struggle to connect with your song because it just won't be that exciting with the beat. So when I have drum fills in my drops, I always have 2 types of drum fills. A heavy one that's going to go at the half point and the end point of the drop, and then 2 miniature ones that are going to go on the quarter points of the drop. So my miniature one sounds like this. Right here, it's just a quick snare hit that is panned to each ear. So the first snare hit hits the left ear, and the second snare hit hits the right ear, and it just keeps the drum line going until we get to the midway point where we can hit them with the heavy drum fill. The second type of drum fill, it's a little bigger, it's a little thicker. I highly recommend using toms for these type of heavy drum fills that are going to go in the midway point and the end point of your drop, because they're more powerful, and it really does give your listener the idea that something just ended and something's about to happen. I made this with Logic's drum kits over here. Just really simple, and I added some Camel Crusher to them, and then I bounced them. And then I panned them. So really simple stuff. Ear candy tip number 3, tape stops. Any DAW can make tape stops, and there's millions of plugins that make tape stops. And tape stops are just really, really fun to listen to. So let's go ahead and listen to some tricks that I did with tape stops in this drop. So to start off the drop, I actually started with a tape stop effect. Like that. And if we solo it, if you could kind of hear the first hit, they pitch down. Now I actually didn't even have to use a real tape stop effect that is built into Logic. I was able to simply down pitch these sounds with Serum's pitch knob and get a tape stop effect simply by down pitching it, because all a tape stop is a simple down pitch. So you don't need a real tape stop effect to do that. You could simply open up whichever sound you would like to add a tape stop to. So let's say I want to add a tape stop to this sound, and then you would click on the pitch knob down here, the pitch mod wheel, and automate the tape stop. Like that. And that's an easy way to get a tape stop effect without actually doing a tape stop. Ear candy effect number 4, volume automation. Volume automation is tricky. It can also be a major help when you're adding cool effects to your drops. The point of using volume automation to add ear candy is to move everything out of the way of the ear candy. So let's go back to that quirky gun effect, for example, that we added right here. Right there. I needed to be sure that my listeners were going to hear this quirky gun effect. So what I did is not only clear everything out of the way of that gun effect, but I also dropped all of the volume automations on my tonal instruments. See, you can see the lead here stops when that gun effect happens. So if I solo the gun effect and the lead goes away when the gun effect happens. So we play the lead. You can see it just completely drops away. I also did that with the atmosphere sound right here. So you could see right here, I left a block of space where the gun effect happens, just so I could get that really clean effect. So you can see it just goes away completely. And that is a great way to make things pop. Ear candy trick number 5, filter automation. Filter automation in your drops is an absolute must. It's just the way that you make your drops sound really cool and professionally produced. So what I like to do is I like to, again, make sure that I hit each section with a little bit of filter automation. Therefore, over my entire duration of my drop, I have movement with some filter automation. Let's go right here, for example. Like that. Super simple, just a simple dip in the automation. And what I'm automating is this cutoff knob right here. So Serum has a cutoff knob, and you can see the automation that I'm doing here. And I want you to watch this knob as the marker goes over this sound, and I want you to listen to what the sound does. It kind of gets really quiet and then it opens back up, and you could see that I do this throughout my entire drop. Like that. And it's just a little trick. It's a subtle trick, but it makes all of the difference. And you can see here, I even have pan automation on this sound to make it go from ear to ear. And that's also that's a bonus ear candy tip for you. Automate your pan automation over the course of your entire drop, and you will get some crazy effects doing it. And then I also did it over here. And it doesn't just have to be wobbles that you add your filter automation to. It could be leads, it could be basses, it could be pianos, you name it. The purpose of it is just to add movement and interest to your sounds, like make them not sound as flat. If you found this video helpful and you would like to learn more about mastering the art of electronic music, join me in my EDM bootcamp and learn music production skills and techniques that would otherwise take you years in just 6 weeks. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.